The following program is an LTX Enterprises production. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. The Searcher and Hide podcast, for mind-intriguing discussions about wrestling, movies, Bigfoot, aliens, and everything in between, then look no further than the Searcher and Hide podcast. You can find the Searcher and Hide podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. Go check them out today. And Outside the Ring STL, join Shaft, Lucy, General Vader, and others who share their love for professional wrestling as they talk about the recent shows from the major wrestling companies, all independent promotions from around the St. Louis area, and even talk about great moments in St. Louis professional wrestling history. Find them on Facebook at Outside the Ring STL. Get ready for episode number 26 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, featuring longtime wrestler, referee, booker, and commissioner, Shaft. We thank everyone tuning into tonight's podcast here on the Lifetime Podcast Network. Before we get underway, we pay honor, tribute, and respect to the greatest nation in the world as we play our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for that ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
Earlier this week, the Midwest independent wrestling scene lost a great wrestler inside the ring and a greater man outside of it. Don Jackson, better known to the professional wrestling world as the Mississippi Madman, passed away this past Monday at the age of 46. All of us here at the Falls Count Everywhere podcast and the wrestlers he's influenced over the years extend our love, prayers, and condolences to the Jackson family during this difficult time. At this time, we will toll the ring bell 10 times, followed by a moment of silence to pay respect and honor of Don Jackson, the Mississippi Madman. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode number 26 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Thank you very much for being here tonight. And we are getting some struggles here that are. Hopefully, we're going to get you in here to get things started here. So, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby, of course, one of the co-hosts here. My other co-host here, of course, is waiting in the wings. Of course, that is Mr. GQ, Matthew Wayne Schuyler III. Got to get you up here. Here, GQ. There you go. There's your little little symbol anywhere. But and Mr. GQ is with us here tonight, and of course, we're gonna have. Yeah, we're gonna have our featured guest here in a little bit here, but as we kick off the show this past Monday, if you're in the Illinois area and up and down the Illinois area watching independent wrestling, if you've not heard of the Mississippi Madman, then obviously you've not been to many shows. But he was one of the biggest, most agile big men to ever work inside the ring, and he's actually one of the better big men that has ever graced inside the ropes. But he passed away this past Monday at the age of 46, and he had Don Jackson had a in-ring career that spanned over 15 years. Retired at the end of 2018. He started off training in New Midwest Wrestling up in Springfield, Illinois. His first regular promotion was up in with STW Pro. Back then, it was just Scott County Wrestling up in Davenport, Iowa. And for those who follow WWE a lot, if you hear the city Davenport, Iowa, that will tie into somebody, and that is actually true. The Mississippi Madman wrestled in 17 different promotions at least. He was heavyweight champion in 4 of those promotions, and then in which one of those was Pro Wrestling Epic, where he was heavyweight champion for over 300 days. He also was in the tag team division with his good buddy and friend and tag team partner Casey Jackson. Together, they were known as the Money Making Jam Boys. They won tag team championships in at least 5 different promotions. And also, he worked a lot of independent guys, but he was in the ring with names such as Eugene, from WWE, Nick Dinsmore, Abyss, Jeremy Wyatt should ring a name around this area and all around Missouri. Tyler Black, if you know Tyler Black, it was now known as Seth Rollins in WWE. Merrick Brave and the late Kamala, the Ugandan Giant.
And he also did work a match with Mustafa Ali as well.
Yes, he did. He did work with Mustafa Ali. And of course, throughout that career, he did get some Hall of Fame honors. In 2017, he was surprised at being inducted into the Pinfall Wrestling Academy Hall of Fame. In 2019, I believe he was inducted into the Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And then last year, it was announced by 01 Supreme USA Wrestling that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So he had his inductee honors there, and it's just they didn't have the ceremony due to the whole COVID, but he is an inductee, and obviously they will get him in. So, I mean, we hear something like that, and GQ, I've been watching some of the tribute videos that they already put together, and the way that he interacted with the crowd, just even before and after the shows, and even when he came out, just shows how big of a heart this guy had and how much he was really loved in the industry.
Yeah, it's one of those things that this is a rare. I'm going to throw the gimmick out the window for a second. One of those rare moments where the person is liked by pretty much everybody in the whole damn world. You've not heard a single bad thing about Madman from anybody. While everybody else we've ever heard from all over the world, at least one person has a negative thing to say, but nobody else has had that with Madman. And that's a rare thing that you cannot find hardly anymore nowadays.
Yeah.
And That's a big he is a really big loss to this business and to a lot of the people that knew him. I personally was trying to get into a feud with him in New Midwest Wrestling. We had one show where we were building it, but just never got the chance to go back, and that's a big regret because I would have loved to have worked some stuff with him and everything. And he was a wonderful guy, and there's like nobody, including so many people that have said tweets about him that you wouldn't expect those at that level to even say, you know?
Yeah. Literally, a lot of testimonials from guys, either when they tweet or even if they did a Facebook clip where he said that Don would actually give you the shirt off his back, and then he didn't even ask you if you needed anything else, and he would do it without asking. In fact, I also heard a story. I forgot who the worker was, the wrestler was, but apparently wasn't feeling good enough to get back home, and he was about 3 hours away. Or no, he was 3 hours out of the way from Don, and he even offered to take him home. So I don't know how that turned up, but
I think that was Mustafa Ali, actually.
That was Ali.
I think so.
Okay. So I mean, but even with the guy who didn't care about the miles on the road as long as somebody got back home safely, if he was not in the best shape to get home, and just offering that, I mean, it just says a lot about the character of the guy, because you rarely ever see that. In fact, honestly, I never really heard of somebody wanting to go that far out of the way for somebody, and that's just, it definitely speaks volumes and a great testament on who he is.
And it's one of those things that every worker, no matter, I'm not talking about in-ring ability or anything like that, but every worker in this business should strive to be just like Madman.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the attitude and everything else, and as far as his heart and how he cares and everything else, really connected with a lot of fans that I saw, just with fans wanting to hug him, and he hugged back and everything else. And just a great guy, a great soul, and definitely will be missed. So, but here's, I also wanted to kind of point out here, before we go into anything else here, what I wanted to bring up, guys, here is this. With this kind of tragedy, sometimes with tragedies, a lot of us are not prepared for it, but there has been a link set up to help with final medical expenses and funeral costs. And right here, and I'm actually going to try and see if I can actually get that copied somehow and put into the board. But we're going to have this up here later on in the show, but it's freefunder.com/campaign/funeral-medical-bills. So it's only set up for him. Now, I will say that the goal is close to being reached, which was a big chunk of that was from the academy that he was associated with, which I give, high regard, and just somebody who just came out just out of nowhere. And I mean, I don't know if I'm liberated to say who it is, but I will say that a good part of that was helped out, and thank God for it. So, praise and thankful, and praise and thanks to God for this whole thing right now, going through this tough time. But what I wanted to just kind of show how this guy was impacting everybody, in the business that he came across. This is SCW Pro, where he first worked. With their tweet here is, it is with deep sadness that we have to inform that SCW fans, with the passing of the former SCW champion, Mississippi Madman, a giant in our world. His large frame was only matched by the size of his kind heart. He will be greatly missed. Hashtag RIP Madman. Another one from Super Beast Craig. Mississippi Madman was always respectful, always happy, and always made time for his fans. A great performer and a great person. Also, from at MRJ Washington. We're going to miss you, bro. A bright spot in any locker room. R.I.P. Mississippi Madman. This is from at the Mark Storm. He says, I remember when we tried to turn you heel, so we had you attack one of our most popular baby faces, Tank Roberts, and the fans still wouldn't boo you. You were that far. You were that over. I know you'll just be just as over in heaven. Rest in peace, my friend. And this is from Eric Brave. He said, you see a lot of people say some really nice things about Mississippi Madman in the coming days, and it will all be 100% true. He was kind. He was funny. No, he was hilarious. He was always so positive and upbeat. I'll never forget the times we shared. I love you, Don. And the last one, it actually blew me out of the water because about an impact he had. But this is actually from Mustafa Ali from WWE. Rest easy, Mississippi Madman Don Jackson, the big man with an even bigger heart. And that like I said, that just speaks volumes on who he is. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, like I said, well, like we've been telling you, I mean, because I heard many great stories about him, and now like I said, he retired at the end of 2018, but he did start encountering some health problems in a few months after that, and he just kind of been battling for like a couple of years past that. So but yeah, but well, of course. So here we go. Vader is in the chat room here tonight, saying rest in peace to the Madman. And here we go with Hardcore Sheriff here. We lost a great wrestler and a great guy. He said he got to share a locker room with him a few times, and rest in peace. So yeah, like I said, and here we go. Yeah, so like I said, he's being recognized everywhere. But yeah, there's just, and like I said, there's just a lot of promotions he worked for, a lot of things he's impacted here, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be tough to. I mean, there ain't gonna be nobody like him in GQ.
No, I agree 1,000% on that one. There won't be, but everybody should strive to be, though.
Yeah, everybody should strive to be, and especially when with this this group that was put together that the wrestlers know about. I think we're kind of being a little bit more mature and kind of seeing the bigger picture with everything, especially when we've had to counter this past year or so with COVID striking and everything else, and a lot of things we took for granted just got yanked from underneath our feet. You know, it just stood on that rug, and then we just got it yanked, and then we took a fall, and it took a while for us to get back up, but we're getting back up though. We're going to get back up there, and I guarantee you that. But hey, you know, but I know that I know Don will want us to kind of move on and do great things, like bringing on our featured guest for the evening. Are you ready for it? I think I am. What about you? You think so? No, you're not. Oh, I think I am. Make sure this is being heard. Yeah, it is being heard. All right. So our featured guest of the evening. He started his quest to be in pro wrestling at a later age than Diamond Dallas Page did, but still proved to many opponents he faced in the ring that he indeed was one bad mother. His greatest success as becoming a three-time MMWA Heavyweight Champion down at the historical South Broadway Athletic Club in downtown St. Louis. After he stepped away from in-ring competition, he continued on in his career by donning black and white stripes as a referee. He recently stepped away from that to enter a new role as commissioner for both Illinois Elite Wrestling and the Mid-Missouri Wrestling Alliance, of course, the IEW and MMWA. Tonight, he steps out of his home turf podcast at Outside the Ring STL and pays us a visit to our turf. So, follow Scout Everywhere Nation, put your hands together for our featured guest this evening. Let's welcome Shaft. All right. Let's see if we get him up here. Can we get him up here? Can we get up here? There we go. There we go. Shaft, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's a pleasure being on your podcast with Mr. GQ. You know, he's your partner. You know, he keeping you afloat. He keeping you going. But it's a pleasure being on your podcast because you is a Hall of Famer, and that is a big honor to me to be on a Hall of Famer show. And I'm just so happy to be on your show. And I was a two-time MMWA heavyweight champ. I was tag team champ twice and light heavyweight once. But yes, I was a late starter. You know, started training in 2003 at the age of 45.
No, my goodness.
And I just want to thank the late great Tony Costa for giving me that opportunity to get up and entertain the people in professional wrestling. And I also want to thank Phil E. Blunt, who saw me after a show and say, hey, why don't you, train? You got some nice size. And I hesitated. I waited a month and a half before I asked Tony Costa. And when I asked him, he said, do you really want to do this? I said, yeah, because I done did everything else, played all the sports in high school and everything. And the rest is history. He gave me the opportunity and I took full advantage of it. And I met a lot of people in this business, GQ, yourself. I just met a lot of people that, is my peers and friends in the business. And
you notice he started at the top and is working his way down. GQ, you, then he kept going downward.
But they always say the best for last. And
so he's going to say my name again.
Yes, I might say it again. Of course, because I'm looking at you on the screen. But yes, it's a pleasure, Rough Cut, to be on your show.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. It's great to have you, man. And I've been down. Of course, I've been down to the studio a couple times. So I've been on the show a couple times with Outside the Ring.
I was only on once. I haven't been called back yet. So
what kind of tells you something, right? It makes me want to ask you a question.
What are you, a dumbass?
Well, it's because that their ratings went through the roof and they crashed the servers because so many people heard I was on it.
No, from what I heard, it was through the floor and had to patch it up because it fell.
But
negative.
My show is an open door policy for those who want to come on. The door is always open, no matter what promotion you work for. Outside the Ring is for the wrestlers.
Yeah, but Chef, sometimes you may need to close the door because if not, something will start walking in. Like over this way.
Hey, if I'm walking in, I don't think they're going to shut the door in my face.
No.
Well, they're going to have to because they don't have no food for you. That's why.
I was going to say, if it was a Chinese restaurant with bees coming to the door, that might be a different story.
Man, that happened twice in one night. We both basically said, no, we closed. We out of food.
Why does it have to be food all the time?
I don't know.
Because I'm one bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
Nah, it's always food because me and GQ are on a little bit on the fluffy side, but we just got to handle our business.
Svelte.
What?
I'm svelte.
Oh Lord!
It's a fancy word for slim and trim.
Oh, you learned something new.
Yeah, my goodness! You gotta stop. You gotta stop looking at one of those carnival mirrors. You know how they make you like an hourglass whenever you step in front of it.
Hold on. Now you talk about Ruby being a Hall of Famer here. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
But he's not that important of a one because if I didn't print pictures of him, but I got pictures of Bob Orton,
Okay.
Giant Assassin,
All right then.
Smith,
Okay.
Powers,
All right then.
Hall of Fame inductees, well, Lumberjacks, and I have
All
no
right.
because nobody cares.
Hey, I mean, it's. But let me clear this up though. You've had to ask them, right? You've had to ask them for those promo photos, right?
No,
He probably he snuck and took their picture without them knowing.
Yeah. You know,
I
like
said
Friday
something
after
from
intermission when everybody's not paying attention. Got to see the second half of the show. Oh my God, it's all right. But
you see,
yeah,
hey,
but
one thing about me, Ruby, real quick, is I don't hang pictures of myself all over the wall. I know how good looking I am. The only thing I got to hang is a mirror so I can see it all the time. You got to print out pictures.
well,
See that little ugly picture right behind your? Yeah, see, now it's behind your head. There you go. See?
yeah, well, it was just a whole bunch of scribble no one would have been able to read anyway. So you might as well put something there that somebody can actually see. You know.
Yeah, but at least it helps get rid of the cockroaches and the pests and everything.
Really?
This guy's not one tonight. Oh my God! Thank God I've already got a drink in my hand. It's already halfway gone.
Well, you know what? I said, hold my drink, bitch.
Oh my gosh! No.
One day soon, I'm going to get my own soundboard. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, you know, it'll be someday. But let's get on here because I've got questions galore for Mr. Shaft. So obviously we went in to. I mean, you've already said that you started at 45, which, by the way, that's my age now. You know. And I can't even fathom, like, why the hell would I get started at 45? That's me saying, you know, I'm kind of bored with what I want to do now. I'm going to go into MMA now. That's about as how tight that is. But
well, your core bar also do good in MMA.
Yeah. But with you going in and starting training, what reservations, if any, did you have about becoming a wrestler at that stage in your life?
Well, you know, I stated once before that I started watching Wrestling at the Chase when I was 10 years old in 1968. And Gene Kiniski was the heavyweight champion. And I'm, you know, just watching it from Kiniski, Pat O'Connor, you know, Wilbur Snyder, Bulldog, Bauer, you know, before Bob Brown, and then Harley Race, you know, Ric Flair, Murdoch. But I went down to South Broadway Athletic Club and I was sitting in the front row. And, you know, I was born the heels and everything, getting involved because, like I said, I was going to the Kiel Auditorium, and then, you know, Philly Blunt, you know, just saw me out and said, you know, you come to the shows, you know, you got some nice size. And, you know, I played football, baseball, basketball, was on the swimming team and everything. So very athletic. And after I thought about it, I said, you know what, why not? And the first thing, you know, led to another and went down to the annex building where they was training at. And, you know, walked around with Tony, and he said, are you looking to make a lot of money? No, I'm just looking to have fun, you know, because I growed up on this. And he just told me, don't worry about no knee pads, don't worry about nothing, just sign that waiver, got up there and was just holding on the ropes and falling back. Did that for a while. And at that time, they were just training on Mondays and Tuesdays, you know, twice a week. And it was like 7 months before I even had my first match, you know, and you can say graduated. But at that time, the late Gino, the Exterminator, was training me also. Gary Jackson, you know, the young Aladdin, Jerome Cody, all those guys was helping out. You know, Ed Smith was coming down and watching, you know, and you know, I took my bumps and everything, and I came back, you know, cause I'm never a quitter. Never quit. That's something I started. I always finished it. And, you know, and I mean, the training was grueling, you know, and to learn and to be trained and by Gary Jackson, you know, that name there goes a long, long way.
It does.
And you know, and my heart and passion and say, wow, I'm finna be up here training. And then as they say, when you graduated and you had your first match, you know, wasn't nervous. And because I played sports in front of crowds and stuff. So not saying it's a natural, but I was used to it, you know, and met a lot of people in the ring and a lot of people out the ring. And the fans, I know them personally, you know, and I love them. I love the guys in the business and everything that still is wrestling and trying to do bigger and better things. Some of the young men and some women, when I was training, they was trying to go to the next level. But me, all I wanted to do was stay right here because, you know, I had young girls and stuff, you know, and I didn't need to be on the road. So I wasn't trying to go to the WWE, you know, to TNA. I was just happy Missouri and Illinois, you know, and Gino was 38 years old down there at MMWA. And when I came in, I broke his oldest rookie record because he was 38 when he got in it. And I just smashed it by being 45, you know. But, you know, it's just something I had loved and watched and end up doing. And GQ, you know, met him and can't get rid of him. You know.
Oh my gosh, no.
I'm the second best thing going today. The first best thing is Travis Cook. The third best thing is PYT. So
yes, and met that young man, you know, and you know, just met, you know, people in the business and gave them my respect and they given me respect and everything. And, you know, like I say, you know, his dream came true, you know, and for those young people that's out there that's trying to do anything in life and you got the dream, just go for it, you know, because you control your destination.
Yep, absolutely you do. And yeah, I mean, we've all got our stories and how we get started, and trust me, I know I've got some, but and how I've had to keep carrying on. But you know, but the bottom line is, you know, if you stick to your guns and go with what you want and what you know, and keep growing to what you know, then you know you're going to be all right if you just if you keep your faith, keep the path. So that's for certain. So before you got involved in the wrestling business, I mean, obviously you've had a lot of time before that. So did you have like any other like ventures or hobbies or interests that you pursued before you before you decided to try wrestling?
Man, y'all thought Ozzie Smith was a gloveman, you know. Like I say, I played the sports coming up and everything, and I was a third, you know, I did it all, you know, and I was a heck of a third baseman, you know. I had a good glove hobby, you know, and played football, you know, tight end and everything. I thought I was Lynn Swan and just, you know, you know, it's just different stuff as a kid and as a teenager as you did in life. You know, it was somebody that was all, you know, just jumping up in the air trying to catch the ball. But, you know, I did it had fun. And one thing I can say that I've been truly blessed. I played football, baseball, basketball, sports where that you can get hurt. I was blessed that I didn't. I was blessed in the wrestling business that I didn't. And man, it was, that's one thing I can say. I was very fortunate not to, get no injuries where I had to have surgeries or nothing at the stuff that I participated in through my life.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we've all got other sports. I mean, Aaron here says, with the Macho Man played for the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe that was their farm system. I don't think he got called up to the majors, but he was in AAA with of course, real name Randy Poffo.
Right.
I think it was he was second baseman, I believe, back then.
But I thought he was a catcher down in the minor leagues. You could be right and I could be wrong, but yes, he was in the Cardinals farm system, and that's all a part. And like a lot of athletes, when they get done in their career, what they do, they go to professional wrestling.
Yep.
Steve McMichael.
Oh man. Oh.
Goldberg.
Never
mind that. Here comes Mongo.
Well, Goldberg is Ruby's favorite wrestler. I mean, but anyway.
Let's stop right there.
So Shaft, you said about 7 months before you had your first official match. Who were the ones that are actually down there in the ring training with you? Training you and training you.
Johnny Courageous. I was there a month before he was, and he came down and he was training, and it was another young man, R.D. Williams, and Gino was grinding us and everything, and like I said, Gary was down there, Philly Blunt, those guys was also working with us, Jim Harris was down there, and Tony Costa was down there. And now do it this way, the elbow, collar tie up and everything, and but Johnny Courageous, he was down there with me and R.D. Williams, and being Courageous end up graduating, and then R.D. had stopped and he came back, and he had a couple of matches down there, but it was me and Johnny Courageous, and then seeing other people come along after we didn't graduated was it was a young lady, Kimchi. She was down there training before me, and she ended up wrestling, having several matches with Lacey, so it was twice a week, Monday and Tuesday, and then after I didn't graduated, next thing you know, they started going down 5 days a week, and then they was getting them out the training facility as quick as they was coming in.
So was it a coin toss between you and Courageous on who was going to face the dirt cheap chicken?
No, and I'm glad it was him. Because there wouldn't have been no fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean,
go ahead.
I was going to say, because how could you put that on your wrestling resume that you laid down for some poultry instead of frying it?
Yes.
Come on.
And it's a good story behind that, because when that aired, next thing you know, the following month, they was fun, and they was on him for a long time about that commercial. He wrestled the chicken beat him, and like I say, I was glad it was him, not me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I guess you couldn't do any illegal tactics like choking or anything like that to it.
Well, he could have used one Harley Race move, the chicken wing.
Oh my god! No, well, I was trying not to say the entire phrase because I want to make it somewhat family friendly here. But
Absolutely.
my god! Well, so getting whoever's training, who trained you and everything. So after that 7 months, I mean, obviously you've had to have your first match. So, as far as tell us your memories of the first match you had, and as far as who did you face, and what memory stands out in your mind most about it?
Well, my first match was with the young man Philly Blunt that asked me about getting into professional wrestling, and it was it was one heck of a match because at that time Philly Blunt had a group of guys call themselves the Connection. That was Philly Blunt, Brian Burnell, and Jerome Cody, and they was at ringside, and unfortunately it didn't go the way that I thought it was gonna go. I ended up with that L. But it was a good match, and we went like 12 minutes, and he hit me with that super kick, and that was about it. But it felt good to get that first match under my belt and everything, and like I say, the rest of that year, because that was in March. And next thing you know, that first win didn't come until November.
Yeah.
I just had fun on, wrestling the guys and everything, and didn't get the chance to wrestle John Blackheart, but I watched him when I was sitting in the front row with Philly Blunt and everything. But that first match was a memorable match because, my oldest daughter. Now this is very funny that I had told her to film the match, and she didn't. When I asked her, "Did you film?" She said, "No, I just couldn't believe that you was up in the ring wrestling," because I was taking her as a little girl and growing up down to the Kill to watch it, and her favorite wrestler was Kerry Von Erich. But she just say, "I just couldn't believe that you was up there doing it, and you was taking me to the matches down at the Kill."
Yep. Oh, hey, I think we got a call here. Let's check it out and see who it is.
All righty.
All right, you got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's on the line?
You got Al Stevens here, rough cut.
Oh, Big Al. What's going on, Big Al? How you doing?
No, I'm doing good. Why is it every time I turn on my computer, I see that ugly puss Shaft there?
I thought it was going to go a different direction with that comment, so I'm good.
Why do I see him? Holy cow!
What's
Tim Johns doing up there? Sleeping? Sure looks like it.
Who's he talking about? There's nobody there by that name.
Well, I see a Mr. GQ.
GQ.
There's a gimmick. Remember, Al, there's a gimmick.
There's a gimmick, all right. Tim Johns sleeping?
Oh, my God.
Good God. He looks older than me.
Well,
Shaft with that puss of his.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Wow.
but for those, that's another Hall of Famer. That's another Hall of Famer.
Rough, you need some different celebrities on that show.
Celebrities.
You hear me, Rough Cut?
Hey, I had to pick from the free stack, so I mean I'm working with what I got here.
Yeah, well, you need me on there, not him.
Oh my God!
I got a green light. I'll go all over the radio, TV, whatever.
Oh my goodness!
Look at him. Look at Tim Johns there. He's trying to think. Look at that. Hey,
Who's
look at me,
Tim Johns? There's no
wake up.
Tim Johns on the show. Listen here, Grandpa. I know you've seen that, but there's no Tim Johns on the show. You're calling in the wrong show. You think that's another one?
That's GQ.
Yeah.
That's GQ.
That's GQ, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Rough Cut,
Yes, sir.
where are you? Look at him look around. He's turning around looking, trying to figure out where he's at. He looked at the screen. He's turning his head like a cockatoo, trying to figure out where he's at.
Oh my goodness!
I'm on a roll.
Yep. Yeah, you got the green light and you're running red lights, Al. So
I just called to say, hey.
yeah, man. I didn't think
You
you.
know-
Would, yeah, I didn't think you were listening, man. But it's good to
I'm
know
not
that
listening.
you are.
You know what I'm just looking at right now is Tim Johns. I can't figure out what's wider, his head or his lower body there from the neck on down.
Okay, you want to see which one? I'll show you right
He
now, man.
looks like the picture of a Mr. Clean on a bottle. Look at that.
He is on the roll.
How is he up this late? It's 8:43. They already had lights out at the home.
He had a late afternoon nap.
Ask Rough Cut if he knows where he's at.
Oh, I know where I'm at. I'm just looking for this.
I think Al forgets where he's at.
I do believe so too, GQ.
Me, I am sitting down and relax. Look at him. Look at Tim Johns with his hands out there. He's trying to figure out what weighs more, him or a pile of shit.
Oh,
Look at that.
Wow.
woo.
Holy.
I guess some people forget the term kayfabe on a lot of stuff. I'm just saying.
Al,
I need to get out there with Rough Cut Rick Ruby.
What?
Al Stevens, have you been drinking?
Yes, sir. I need to get on there and straighten these people out.
Have you been drinking?
Not yet.
Yeah. I think he
Not
needs
yet.
a drink. Oh, my goodness. My goodness, Al.
Honey.
He'll have his
Honey.
prune juice later, Shaft.
Huh? What'd you say, GQ?
Al, what you drinking?
I said he'll have his
I
prune
might
juice
have it.
later.
What, honey? You get that down there on 12th and Clark. And I ain't talking about the liquid neither.
And you can get applause down on 4th and Washington. So
Yeah. Then drive up on North Grand and go see the old doc.
Well,
That's what happened to Tim Johns. He once saw the old doc. I swear. I'm on a roll here.
wow. I would say so,
on the serious
man.
side now. On the serious side, how you guys doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good.
I'm doing
we're getting through
fabulous.
all of this.
I'm trying to see how to savage some kayfabe a little bit on this show, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
With Shaft here tonight, just reviewing his time in the ring and time wrestling, and yeah, man. So yeah, I see. The thing is, Al, I definitely want to try to get some other members of the Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame on here as well, and I may have Hawk Elliott back on here next week because he was obligated with work last week because of the crappy weather that we had that came in. So
Yeah.
that got pulled right from underneath me. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I've got your contact info. We could definitely work something out.
Where are you guys broadcasting from?
It's fun. It's funny that you say that because we are actually virtually gathered in together in one place. I'm in my office studio.
I'm in Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, GQ's on remote location, and Shaft is on remote location from his phone. So
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't even have to go out of the house if you don't want, Al. I mean, you can, we can have somebody deliver you liquor, and you could get drunk, but don't
give him no
Yeah,
liquor.
I was gonna say I couldn't get out there where these guys are at because there's no room between Ruby and John's up there with that weight. Look, take a tape measure and see how wide they are. Oh,
Oh my God!
oh.
Wow!
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right.
I'm gonna try to go get some because at my age it don't take long.
Oh my God. All right, Al.
Woo, that's another Hall of Famer.
Yep.
All righty, buddy. Take care.
All right,
you
take care, Al.
You bet, buddy. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my Lord! How about that for an unexpected surprise?
Well, could I say something right quick? He had called me and I declined the call.
See, I don't know who's calling in. Oh wow!
Woo wee! Where were we at now?
Yeah.
Oh, that better not be the old fart.
I can guarantee you it's not. So, but we'll see who this is. All right, you got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's this?
General Vader of Outside the Ring STL Shaft Show.
Here it is. Vader's on. What's up, Vader?
Hey, nothing much, man. I see you got the champ up there.
Yep. The champ. Yep, the champ. Yeah, Shaft is up here. Yep. I definitely would say he's champ, considering that at 6:45 on your all shows, like I got to get out of here. Y'all got to wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So come here.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys have a great podcast over here, man. Great show. We push it and talk about it all the time on our show. And Rick Ruby, man, he's one of the uptown guests, man, that we had up in the studio. Real great quality guy. Great wrestling in the ring, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's good.
Hey, Rick, it's the truth, man. The fans love you, man. But since Shaft's the guy of the hour, Shaft, what's going on, man?
Nothing but just enjoying myself on this here podcast, and like I say, it's an honor, it's a pleasure, and I'm very thankful to be on this here podcast because me and that man, Rough Cut, like I say, he tunes in our show, I tune in his, so fair exchange is no robbery.
And I tune you both out.
Podcast.
For real, GQ.
Even on the show right now, I'm tuning you all out, and now I got to tune out fans that call in.
What you doing on this show, man? Giving GQ trouble, man.
I'm
What's
not,
up, man.
No, GQ is GQ. He do his thing, and he doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, I was just calling, Shaft, just to shoot some questions at you, man. I say back in 2000, Shaft, early 2000. There was a wrestling show called The Body Slam. Eric Jackson was the host. You came up as a guest. We had you up there. I think Philly and
Jerome Cody
was attacking the airwaves. We brought you on as a guest because a lot of people wanted to know how everything started with me and you. Well, Sam came up as a guest. And he was a very good guest, and the people out on the telephone land just loved him, especially the ladies. Shaft, I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, that laugh just spoke for itself. And once we had Shaft on the show, Rick, he kept coming up. Shaft did not disappear. He slowly became part of the team. Everybody liked him. I put some comments in your section talking about Shaft's early beginnings working on the body slam. You know, when Gary wasn't there, Shav came in, he subbed and did a great job. You know, we were talking to people all over the country like we're doing now, because the body slam focused strictly on independent wrestling. We might have dealt with the mainstream stuff probably 10% of the time, but the other 90% of the time, we were talking about the South Broadways, the SICWs, anything that was independent, St. Louis, Washington, New York City, the Carolinas. Because back then, the NWA was trying to, you know, surface again. I think it was, I don't know, it was around the time that Shane Douglas had won the belt and tossed it, which became a big controversy. But to kind of rewind back a little bit, Gary Jackson had won the NWA Missouri State title. It might not be the actual belt Harley and the rest of them had, but it was still a big deal for Gary to win that belt. I brought him on my In the Mix show as a guest, and everything kind of evolved into a wrestling program for him. And we did all those shows over the years. I'm telling you, man, we had the first guy that we had on as a guest for what turned into the body slam was Harley Race and Les Thatcher. Those were the first two guests. Because Uncle Rudy had a show, God rest his soul. Uncle Rudy is the Uncle to Rap Star Nelly. And everything blew up. We even had Bobby the Brain Heenan on as a guest. We talked to Nikita Koloff. We talked to Malaya Husaka. We talked to one of the Doink Clowns. And we talked to, I can't think of the black dude name that wrestled over there in the WWE. I can't think of the dude's name. He had a funny name, but I think he long passed away. We talked to a whole lot of legendary people. We even talked to Ox Baker. So Shav started his broadcasting thing early in the early 2000s. And I believe somewhere in that time period, financial problems with the station.
That started in 2004 when I was getting into business. So that's when I came up there.
Okay.
Yeah, right, but it was 2004. No, those days are over with. Those days are over with. Those days are over with.
Talking about New Black City?
No, I'm talking about beating up people. Those days are over with.
Nah, Sam. Every time on the show, you always remind me you're gonna maybe come out retirement, Vader. So don't try that, Sam.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I'll say this and I'll let you guys go. Shav is a real good guy. If Shav tell you he's going to do something, as good as done. Shav, the type of cat I help you, even if you don't ask for his help. If he think you're a quality person, you're respectful, you're not, player hating or hurting other people, Shav is the type of cat that'll help you. Just like the character Shav, this cat has all the characteristics of that character. And Shav stands up against anything that's not right. Shav is a people person. On our show, he gives a voice to a lot of those. I say to some of them who are voiceless. If they come on our show, they know they can feel comfortable and have a voice. And, whether you're an upcoming promotion, you just started yesterday and you're trying, our show inspire other people to do their best, not to trash nobody. But if you just out here being low down or whatever, we won't put you on blast on the air like that. That's a way to talk to people. Just like tonight, we had two guys who had an issue with each other. They came on our show and squashed it. What was the name? Chris Estidis and Sean Vincent.
Yep.
And I salute those guys for being men.
Yeah,
coming on there.
They know.
Man, a great platform. And Rick Ruby, I could say the same good stuff about your show, man. And you a good brother as well. far as we're concerned, man, you know, we're 2 shows in this wrestling game giving people a voice. With that said, I'm out of here like a bounced check and a bowl of food stamp.
All righty.
Awesome. Thanks, Vader.
Well,
Oh man, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I had actually missed a call too.
Oh, that's okay, especially if it was Al Stevens.
They'll probably call back. They probably will.
It won't be Al because they already had lights out at the home.
No, I know Al's number, so if I know
when you call
across, I'm going to tell you all the duck and cover if it comes through again.
Oh, if that happens, I'm just going to do.
Oh.
So you
No,
can't
don't
see me.
Don't do
man.
that. Don't do that, buddy, Mr. GQ. You know, you're a part of this, and you know, it's, you know, we get the callers, and that's what we have to deal with. You know, they forget. But you know, just getting back to the training and everything, it was grueling, you know, and like I say, it was just like just keep going. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna quit. And like I say, I'm on your podcast. You know, I've been associated with you guys for a very long time, and hope it keeps going and going. You know, cause you know this, you know, the brotherhood, as everybody is talking about now. You know, but you know, the brotherhood. Then you got women in this business. So, you know, brotherhood, sisterhood, but you always got to keep a father figure up there also.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
why people call him Poppy.
Oh, you know.
Oh my God, GQ.
I'm trying to deflect the shit back over to you, Ruby.
Goodness.
But yeah.
Oh shoot. I think I'm to my next question. Yeah, okay. I see my next question here. So, Shaft, after you got started in the wrestling business, which wrestler or wrestlers did you look up to for guidance and advice to help guide your success in the ring?
Well, I have to say Gary Jackson, Gino the Exterminator, Philly Blunt, the Lumberjacks. You know, they was in the business, you know, before me. And like I say, Gary is over 28, 30 years in the business. Also, the Lumberjacks, 25 years. And one thing that I took to heart is when the Lumberjacks retired, and when Andy and Alan walked up to me and said that they respected me because I was a professional in the ring, and they love working me in the ring and no problems. And like I say, you know, you always listen. You still can speak, but you know, you listen first. And they just said that I couldn't have been no more of a professional than what I was. And they just love working, because I wrestled them 3 times, you know, and they just said they enjoyed working with me. And then I had another wrestler that I had the opportunity to wrestle, and that was over in East Carondelet, Illinois, and that was Danny Boy. Mm-hmm. And he said it was an honor and pleasure of wrestling me. And I just said I wished I had got in the business earlier, where we could have had some probably good matches all over our career, but he say better late than never. But this time that he worked me, he really appreciate how I worked in the ring. And never, no egos with me in there because, I'm up there having fun. What came my way, it came, and it was good things. And a lot of wrestlers enjoyed wrestling me, and like I say, listen and learn. And that's from when you was in grade school, listening to the teacher and learning from the teacher, So that those guys I had good matches with. Also the younger Aladdin, a superb young man, good matches, and even some slip ups, because nobody is perfect, but you just keep going, and they don't know if it's a slip up or not. But I never got into it inside the ring with nobody, and it was all fun and nothing but fun with me.
Nice.
You know.
Always good to hear advice, and we never stop learning in the business.
Mm-mm.
Gary Jackson, man, let me tell you, if I don't get a chance to tell this whenever my day comes to go, for the ceremony for the 2020 class. But one thing, I mean, it's funny how that I tie into a lot of these guys that were growing up, because the first independent show I ever watched, remember my dad taking me when I was 10 years old. And I remember that the first match, one of the guys was out there. He called himself the Jack Attack. That was Jack Attack, Gary Jackson back then. And boy, it's just kind of, I mean, that was like 36 years ago or over 35 years ago. So, I mean, he's been in it for quite a while. And man does, and I'm sure GQ would like to know here too. I sure like to know which water fountain that Gary Jackson and Brian James are drinking out of, so we don't look so dang old, because it looks like they don't look a day past 30.
Yeah.
Well, what's even funnier is Gary will go out to Cauliflower but not stay for the banquets. He goes out there to work the shows and then comes back. It's like, what the hell? It's like,
wow, that's crazy.
And then one more member, match was when I first won the MMWA SICW Heavyweight Champion, because at that time they was both was the same, and it was one belt, and Jeremy Lightfoot. That's the first time I won the belt was from Jeremy Lightfoot, and nothing but good matches, nothing but respect for Jeremy, and we had a superb match, and and he started when he was 16, and
and 6 years later, still going.
Yes. And, I talked to him he's no longer on Facebook, but before he got off Facebook, we chit-chatted. But that was the first time that I won the MMWA SICW Heavyweight Championship. And when I won the Tag Team Championship, it was Philly Blunt and myself getting it from the Lumberjacks, and I won the light heavyweight belt from the young Aladdin, and he ended up getting it back from me. So I was in, I had good times and still having good times. And, those guys, that was in the business, and some of them is not in the business, nothing but respect for them, and nothing but respect for the other wrestlers through my career in UWA, where I met Playboy, Brian Johnson, who is now Cayman, and it's the rest is history.
I think GQ's got the next question for you.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where the hell we're at there. So, as long as you've been in the business so far, is there anything that you wish you could have done differently or even taken back? Meeting Ruby does not count. You can't really say that. Everybody wants to say that answer.
Anything different? Well, only thing is, I wish I could have got in it earlier than what I did.
Amen to that.
And that's about it. Just I wish I had known about it. I wish I had known South Broadway years before I got into it, because like I said, I came down there in 2000 to start watching it, because I was channel hopping and I saw it on Charter Cable on the public access channel, and I was, okay, what is wrestling that? But I never went down there until 2000. And I sat in the front row for 2 years, booing the heels, booing Ron Powers. I was booing the Lumberjacks, Philly Blunt, John Blackheart, Rick Brewer. I was booing those guys, and next thing you know, I'm up in the ring that they was in, but I wouldn't take nothing for the world, about this industry, because, I was raised up on it and I'm still involved in it, and, commissioner for Illinois Elite Wrestling and commissioner for MMWA. I also going to referee for several other organizations and everything, because they still want me to referee for them. So I'm just blessed, and like I said, I'm just living the dream that everybody wants to dream about, is doing something that they love doing and doing something that they want to do, and just having fun at it and respecting all the peers that's in this business,
Yeah. There you go. So,
but you know what? Since me and him kind of split duties in IEW, I need to go over there to South Broadway and take some of his duties from him over there too.
I don't think so.
I'll walk in that door, watch what happened.
I don't think so.
Shoot. I wonder what Blondie's up to.
Trying to find Virgil a home.
All you got to do is walk for the walking Pepto-Bismol stick, and you can find about anywhere. There you go.
That's not right, because you know one thing though, Ruby, that this group, and in case you don't know which group I'm talking about, it's this group over here. Is one of the most elite groups in the area. So shut your mouth.
But do you know what PYT, poor young thing?
Poor young things.
Yeah. That's what it stands for.
Yeah. Or pathetic youth in training. I don't know. That's another thing I can think of too.
We.
Uh-oh. I gotta play something for this here.
Hang on to that dream, pal.
You know what? After he does that, then I'll take over MMWA.
Oh shoot!
Really?
Oh my gosh! If you took over MMWA, you walk in the door, you hear this because it's over.
Hey, could you play that again? Could you hit that again?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to move on to my next
I'm
question.
trying to figure out one thing though. That last comment and all that. Like, how are you going to put a PYT up someone's ass? I mean, that's not really proper to say or hear. I mean, that makes no sense.
Well, hey, come.
I'm glad you said it.
So who's making the sacrifice here? Is there a new member we don't know about?
Oh boy. GQ?
No.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only way. That's the one way Blondie's going to give somebody a foot of loving.
Every time they come out, you always hear something like this. Oh, you stink!
Ooh, wee.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. GQ, just before I go any further, what is up with the guys over 65 in here tonight that've got problems, and one is to start stirring trouble? I mean, first it was Al. Now, what? Two guys named Al. What is it? I don't know. We got Al Stevens, and then we got Al Blundy.
You need to actually queue up next time now for the "You Can Call Me Al" song.
Yep. Now, we don't want to play too much of that because I don't want to get flagged thanks to YouTube or Facebook.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Bunch of pansies. Flag me for that. Anyway, let's see, Shad. I want to move on to my next question before we start going in deeper here. But
there's going to be a foot up somebody's butt. That's as deep as you can get, really.
Oh my God.
Oh my. So, Shaft, who would you consider to be your biggest in-ring rival or your best opponent to wrestle against?
In-ring rival. Here I go again. I can't stand that Gary Jackson. One time I needed a tag team partner, and I asked, and at this time, me and Philly Blunt had fell out, and we wrestled each other for half of the tag team, and I ended up winning, so I had both for the tag team belts. So I needed a tag team partner, and I reached out to Gary Jackson. I also had another long leather coat, and he didn't even, we wrestled, defended the belts, and then he turned on me and I lost the belt. So yes, that was a heated rivalry, that I didn't really like how that turned out, because we could have been one heck of a tag team, but everybody, the fans, I was a fan favorite and everything, and some of the fans didn't even want me to even ask Gary. So that was a big rival right there, because we wrestled several times and everything, and he won the heavyweight belt back from me, in the three-way with Jeremy Lightfoot and himself, so we had some pretty good matches together.
Yeah. Good. Now, also, kind of around the same topic here, what would you consider your most memorable match of your career?
I think I might actually know the answer to this one, but I'm going to let him answer first and see.
Yep.
Winning that heavyweight belt from Jeremy Lightfoot.
Oh, well, that's not the one I would have gone with.
Which one was you going to go with?
Your match with Cayman.
I was thinking that too. Where he shut the door.
You don't want to remember nothing like that, okay? You don't want to remember nothing like that. You want to remember, getting your hand raised up, winning that strap and putting it around your waist. But getting to that match, it was a heck of a match, and I let my ego get the best of me because I had him in the coffin. I should have shut the door, but I wanted to go out there and snatch that doll from his manager, his daughter, Abigail, and put it in there, and it ended up backfiring on me. But that was a good match also, but I don't want to remember that match because that laid me to rest.
Yeah, I understand that, but yeah, I mean that's going to be.
That's why it was my favorite match.
Well, I'm glad that was your favorite match, and we still hear on the podcast and everything that was a good match and everything, and everybody really enjoyed that match because it was a packed house that night, and and unfortunately my ego got in the way.
Yeah, here we go with Blundy again, saying his memorable match will be Blundy kicking his butt. In what dream, pal? I just want to know, in what dream? Doesn't he know that you're going to be the commissioner of IEW? You are the commissioner of IEW, and once you guys get up and running shows, you got the power to put PYT anywhere you darn well please.
And that's 100% correct. But Al, before I even got out of the business, Al always wanted me to wrestle Playboy, and we were just in UWA. It was a gauntlet match, but that's the only time me and Playboy just hooked up. We really didn't have a match one-on-one, because if we had a match one-on-one, I guarantee you Bundy, he would be still complaining about me beating his son.
Yeah, well, Blundy complains when he's too late for the early bird special on any day, so he's going to find something to complain about.
And if you're still listening, Al, Blundy, please find Virgil Homeless a home.
Virgil Homeless. Oh my gosh. Wow.
And nowhere in Hollywood near me like the other one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You don't want them nowhere near you, right?
I already got one of them in the Hollywood area. I don't need the other one.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's plenty of room in those houses that are around that area, GQ. I know. He could take them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, though, 2019 was a really good year from MMWA. Two matches that really stood out to me was your casket match with you and Cayman, because trust me, man, that place was really rocking. And how about that cage match between Moondog and Texan?
That speak for itself. Those two was going at it for that year, and to end up in that cage and selling their difference, that was that brought the house down also.
Man, yeah, 30 minutes. It was like an Iron Man cage match, because it was a 30-minute match, and I think Texan, yeah. But that was a wild match because his mask actually got tore, like half.
Right.
Yeah.
And
like, oh man. And
I was the referee on the outside of the cage when that match was going on. I was actually refereeing.
Man, yeah, I mean, those guys. I mean, they were slugging it old school. And
they went at it, and that was a type of feud that led up, and it got so hot the water had boiled over, and it just spilt over into a cage match, and they didn't disappoint nobody.
Oh no. Oh man, that was tell you what, that cage that they had, man. I mean, it wasn't the cage wasn't that tall, but it was tall enough. It almost reminded me of like something that you would have saw like down at World Class. And he kind of gave like that old school feel, and with that building in there, it's just the atmosphere. And I saw the entire match that night because I had to sneak in and see because I wanted to check out that atmosphere live. And that's definitely something. That's definitely a match I won't forget down there.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely something, man. But man, your match with Cayman, man, that was, that was something else too.
Yeah,
that was really awesome. I will say that. But that's I will say that's my memorable match of you. But I mean, I know you've got a lot more, but kind of leads to my next question. That out of all the time you've been involved with professional wrestling inside and outside the ring, no pun intended, is there any moment or accolade you would consider as your greatest achievement?
Getting in the business.
I'll tell you what. Hang on to that answer. Let's go ahead and answer this here real quick.
Okay.
All right, you got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who is this?
I'm hearing that this so-called guest of yours is got a lot to say about Pimpin' Out.
Oh my God!
On the Pimpin' Out, and that gentleman there knows that he don't mess with Pimpin' Out, he don't mess with PYT, and he does not mess with Playboy Double H because he's begging to play with that Playboy Double H, but Playboy Double H has got a little something for him. It doesn't seem like he understands that Pimpin' Out is going to run IEW, that he thinks he's going to be the commissioner of, but Pimpin' Out is going to run it. And his dream that he wants, his dream match, is Pimpin' Out putting his big ass cane straight up his, you know what, and he looked like a blood sickle then.
Pimpin' Out. You barely can walk. You barely, and you sure enough ain't no you pimping Al Blundy, cause all you gonna do is blunder and mess everything up.
No, you know. Let the truth.
What did you say?
Let the truth be known, Chef, that you can't whip Playboy. The only way you can whip Playboy is cheat. You heard what I said.
Oh, so he can win by using your tactics, right? Okay, got it.
We don't cheat. That's the problem.
Oh my Lord!
Really,
you don't. You've been saying that for
you hear that?
Over
it's thundering over
years.
my house. Somebody's lying.
Oh my! And it's Al Blundy.
It's storming. Oh my God! You don't cheat. All right. Well, Al, man, Al, what are you gonna do whenever you get an IEW? You have to confront Shaft here.
You think I'm scared?
Well, it's not a matter of fear. It's a matter of being wise and choosing your words wisely, which I don't think you're really doing.
Shaft won't touch him either, though. Not while he's the commissioner.
Everything I say that comes out of my mouth is the truth. And Shaft knows it. Shaft knows it. Shaft knows he better have eyes behind his head.
Oh my God.
And Shaft, that while you're commissioner of IEW, you cannot touch him.
GQ, you need to sit back and be quiet, okay?
See what your
mom. Moron! I'm helping you.
That's why he's Al Blunder. He just blunders stuff up.
What are you, a dumbass?
Yeah, okay. Well, look, I'm gonna let y'all podcast go on, but I got people calling me and telling me stuff. So whatever's said, it will be found out. And
what are they calling you?
You will suffer the consequences.
All right, Al. All right. Well, Well, we'll talk at you later, man. Hope to see you at a show soon, but you got to be on your best behavior.
And,
No, there
and
ain't no best behavior. Don't even go there.
All right,
yeah,
now. Thanks for calling in.
but GQ, I know I cannot touch them. I know I cannot touch them.
Oh my God!
There's a whole locker room at Illinois Elite Wrestling. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just out of it right now. You go ahead.
What a
Yeah. Yeah. Because you trying to speak up from him and he kicked you to the curb.
I know. I don't get it, but it's what it is. I mean, something about guys named Al over 65 that are about losing their minds on a Thursday night. I have no idea. The freaking moon's in different places. I don't know. So
No,
whatever it may be.
Hey, it's the snow outside.
Oh, yeah, that snow's driving us nuts, man. That it is. Shit. All right. So getting back to the question, is there any moment, with being inside or outside the ring, is there any moment or accolade that you consider your greatest achievement?
He said getting into the business.
Oh,
yes.
Excuse me. I was answering the phone. All right.
Yes. Just getting into business and living the dream is just overwhelming. And, I'm just blessed. I'm humble, and, I just can't say, no more that just getting into business, learning the business, and letting the business work for itself with me, and, it's once again the people that I met in this business. That is one heck of an accomplishment to get to know the men and women in this business.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer, because you just never know people would, that's definitely an answer that no one would expect, and it's humbling too, because you meet people in this business, you meet friends, you meet people that you make connections with, and this business is something that ties in basically as long as you stay in it.
Yes, a lifetime.
Yeah.
Because no matter if you get out the business, the people that you met in the business, you still is going to be, acquainted with them and talk to them on occasion and everything. And like I said, there's a lot of people that I met that's in this business, and I wouldn't give nothing in the world, but this is a dream, and no matter how GQ is doing his thing, it's because he loved to do what he doing in this business. You love what you doing in this business and outside the business, along with myself. And, as long as we keep breathing, we going to keep doing what we doing. And, even though I'm going to get older before y'all, it's just, and like I said, just amazing. And, and time fly when you having fun.
Yeah, that is for certain. That is for certain. And like I said, you meet people, and you for as long, sometimes you have long relationships with somebody, you can just say something and get away with it, and just kind of shrugs off. Like I would tell GQ, hey,
my friend, don't be a jerk.
You know, he's telling me, hey,
Like, tell me not to breathe, mofo.
All right. So speaking of which, he's got the next one on board for you.
Now that you've had 2 careers inside the ropes of being a wrestler and a referee, what role would you consider the most difficult to maintain?
Both.
Not one over the other?
Both, because being up there wrestling is you and that opponent. And then being up in that, being a referee is those guys wrestling and you is still a part of it. It's instead of a 2-way dance, it's a 3-way dance because, you know, you just important as the wrestlers and everything. And, you know, to think, you know, by me being a wrestler, I know what to expect. And then being a referee, you still know what to expect. And you know what the referee have to do. Also, the referee have to get in there and to help the guys. And it was a tag team that was that came from out of town. They wrestled over there in Centerville, you know, for wrestling over everything.
Yep.
And they was 2 young men, all eyes on us. And I was refereeing a match and we was communicating and everything. And the referee plays a very important role in the matches also. So they work just as hard as the wrestlers, but yeah, we sometimes take a few bumps and everything, but you know, it takes everybody to put on that show. And when I say everybody, that's from the ring announcer, the timekeeper, the young man that comes and take the wrestler gears back. You know, everybody plays a role. You know, you if you don't make it as a wrestler, you know, you can be a manager, you can be a referee, you can be the ring guy to take, you can be the time. Everybody has a role, you know. But being a wrestler and a referee, I saw both sides, you know, a 2-way dance, but the referee is in there as a 3-way dance because he's very important in the matches also.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, both roles are. Both roles are very critical.
Yes, you know,
And
that's
both of them do wear down on your body as well too.
yes. But you know, even being that referee, you know, if you refereeing, you know, for 10, 20, 25, 30 years, you know, like, you know, them 1, 2, 3, and that working on your arm and working on your hands and wrists too, you know, and you know, some of them can get that crazy elbow and crazy shoulder out of pop, you know, cause some guys don't want to get their shoulders up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So right now I thought that you know, like I said, you're basically going into the roles now of a commissioner, you know, stepping away from the referee role.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to be the commissioner for IEW, Illinois Elite Wrestling, and of course, now taking on a role in MMWA down South Broadway as the commissioner there. So my question to you is, do you have any goals or changes that you would like to see made for either promotion?
Only thing I want to do is give the fans the best that both promotion can give. You know, don't change nothing. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Just let that train roll on down them tracks, you know, and it's just knowing them locker rooms and let the young men and young women, because there will be some women coming through those promotions, you know, but just, let them do what they do and entertain the fans and give the fans what they want. And that's professional wrestling, because that's what they love, and that's what they love coming to see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how many times I said it before. I mean, you can tell your story without getting on the mic, cutting a long promo, or trying to tell a story, for like 10 or 12 minutes between both sides, and then you go in, and then it's like, okay, and then nothing builds up after that, even like in the next show that you do. So it's like, just get out there, because with the old school style, that mentality that I have, you've got to just play to the crowd and find out what they want. And I think that that's almost kind of the formula that a booker or a promoter should even look into whenever they're trying to make a match.
And
of course, mix it up. Don't give them the same thing every freaking week, or every month, whatever. But kind of have the idea of what match is going to mix well, and or any other type.
And like I say, that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And me myself, I wasn't a high flyer. Like I say, I was watching Gene Kiniski, Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe, Ric Flair, Harley Race, Dick the Bruiser, Dick Murdoch, just to get in there and wrestle, the drop toe holds, the reverses and everything. And Harley Race had summed it up. Just shut up and wrestle.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's what Harley that's a great slogan for a promotion. Just shut up and wrestle.
Just wrestle. Give the people what they want to see, wrestling up in that ring. And like I say, nothing against this generation, about high flying. If you want a high fly, do it. Just remember, safety.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the only thing, safety. You can have a long career or you can have a short career.
Right.
But I know times have changed, and that's what people want to see, but you just pick and choose the time that you want to do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So, Uh-oh. I think I have an idea who this may be. All right, you've got the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Who's this?
Well, this is Aaron Wallace.
Hey, Aaron, how you doing tonight?
What's going on?
I'm doing just fine. Hey, Chef.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to know if Shaq would have wrestled, who is his dream match would be?
What did he say?
If you had an opponent at any point, who would your dream match be against any opponent? If you still were wrestling.
And it would be Poor Young Thing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, PYT will whip your ass. They're the best thing going today. Aaron Wallace knows it because he's afraid of them.
You know what they call PYT?
Poor young thing. What was that?
Poopy young toddlers. Oh, did you come up with that yourself? Don't knock the best group going today, Aaron Wallace. You lucky security got you, or they would have whipped your ass.
But you know what, GQ? All you doing is riding Poor Young Thing's coattail, because Al Bundy had called in, you know. But you know, if I was to wrestle again, that would be the young man that I would have crying like he always do in matches.
Wow. Well, all right, man. Well, awesome question, Aaron. So yeah, so thanks again for asking, and yeah, and all right, and you have a good rest of your night, all right?
Yeah, and by the way, Pimpolo, you live in a taco stand, not a mansion.
God.
At least Al knows what a taco looks like.
Actually am.
Oh my gosh. All right, Aaron. Thanks a lot for calling in, man.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right. I almost accidentally called somebody.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
I'd bring my pet cat onto the show, but you know, Aaron Wallace will freak out because he's never seen one of those before.
But seriously, GQ, do you actually think poor young thing will beat me?
Yep.
That is horrible, dude. That's horrible.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you gonna go to sleep tonight?
Yep.
Are you gonna wake up in the morning?
Yep.
Okay, then.
Oh my gosh.
But that, you know, yes, because that would be something nice on my bucket list to beat poor young thing, so his poor father Al Bundy will cry, and Virgil Homeless will be crying also. So yes, that was a dream. Yes, I'll give him that.
So you're not changing your mind about Shafts beating any member of PYT? GQ?
What?
See, he's not even listening. Man, what the hell's wrong with you?
He went to sleep.
I tuned it out, remember?
You what?
When Shaft calls, I tuned it out.
Oh, Lord.
but
needs its idiot back.
But Rough Cut was talking to you. Rough Cut.
I pay attention to him.
Oh my God.
Oh my jeez. All right. So going on to my next one. Actually, it's going to be my last series of questions, and then GQ's got one. So going
to for last.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. So we're going to talk about the Outside the Ring STL podcast. So obviously, I guess you and Vader, you had some history before that. Now finding out here tonight. So you said the show's a little over 3 years old, right?
Yeah.
So whose idea was it to come back and bring that show? Since I know you had like a Body Slam podcast, or you guys did some work there. So how did the Outside the Ring podcast come to fruition?
Well, Vader had got in touch with my ex and asked her for my number, you know, and she gave it to him, and he called me and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a podcast show?" And you know what my answer was? Sure, why not? You know, and we was up in the place where we is at now, but we was upstairs, and he had a couple of other guys that had shows that was up there, and you know, we just did you know, outside the ring, you know, and it was just outside the ring, and then we end up putting STL on it, but we was upstairs and everything, and it was a guy, Mark Kaysen, who had all of that up there, you know, and you know, Dirty came up there with the MMWA show, with the DCS show and everything. But yeah, Vader had got in touch with me, and we started Outside the Ring, and we had a young man, Big Daddy D, and then we end up Mr. Bibbs, and then Lucy came, and we just took off then, and we left Ferguson and went down in the Limp Brewery, but we ended up coming back down to Ferguson because Limp Brewery was not the place for us, and we like having guests come in, and I'm just saying the facility wasn't up to standards for people to go and use the facility, and we have women to come in, and we had a young lady, to come in that had overcame breast cancer. We talked to a lot of people, and we talk wrestling, and we also talk outside of wrestling, and that's how we got it back, and and we still rolling now, and it's back down to me and Vader again, and we just gonna keep it rolling as long as we can.
Awesome. All right. And so is there any episode from the past that sticks out to you as most memorable? And if so, why?
The one I was on.
Well, one that when Douglas O'Shea, Riot, and Chaos and Allen came down, and we just did a nice little, episode and a little trick on Douglas O'Shea. We pulled a little bottle of water and said that he couldn't hold his water and everything, and he wetted the seat. That was one of the hilarious episode that we did. And
I wonder if that's the reason why Douglas O'Shea attacked you from behind.
Oh, so you saying he was the one that attacked me, huh?
No, I didn't say that officially.
You just ratted him out.
Wait a minute. You just said, is that why Douglas O'Shea attacked me from behind? Didn't you just say that?
Somebody would attack you from behind for Douglas O'Shea is what I said.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
And the other episode was a good episode is when we had Dynamo Pro come up there, and when Makazi and Adrian Surge was having a heated rivalry, and they got into it upstairs, in the studio and everything, and that was a good episode, and like I say, we do outside the ring for all wrestling promotion. It's not just our show, it's their show, and this is their stage also, and we invite all promotion, and we got an open door policy on the promotion. We don't care what promotion it is. You can come on the show and talk about your promotion, whether you just starting out, you've been in it for the longest. It's a wrestling show. It's the wrestler show. It's not Shaft and Vader show. It's Ruby's, GQ, is even Playboys, and that's another episode that was a good episode. Whereas that Playboy was calling Lucy, "Hey Toots, just wait a minute, Toots." That was a good episode. The views was up on that one, and it just several of them that stands out, and I just love having people on and letting them have the platform. And yes, I'm gonna get you back down there, GQ, but just gonna have to when Falls Count Anywhere is on vacation, because I don't want to bring you away from the Hall of Famer, because Rick Ruby is doing a fabulous job with his podcast, and so are you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm doing an excellent job. I think I'm doing a great job.
Yes, you are. And
pat
you
myself on
should,
the back.
and you doing a fabulous job too, GQ. You know, I'm
bringing it up. He's bringing it
you
down.
know.
He's bringing it. I'm sorry, I forgot which way we're doing it again. He's bringing it down. I'm bringing it up. We don't know right now with this, but we know which way's going up and which way's going down.
Shoot.
Okay.
So I mean, so it's just you and Vader right now. I mean, do you guys have like any projects or something maybe in the works, maybe trying to keep the show or maybe to do something different with the show? Or
no, we just gonna keep doing what we doing and just coming to the people on that Thursday and you know, we got a guy that's up in Anchorage, Alaska, who run promotions up there, and the young lady in Washington State, you know, she Yvonne Seba, and the young man is up in Anchorage, Alaska, is Y.T. Jones, you know, and he's running shows, and Yvonne Seba is Compact Pro Wrestling up in Washington State. And, you know, we got the following, and just like you got a following, and, you know, we just giving the people what they want. Talk about independent professional wrestling. Even though we do sometimes talk about All Elite, SmackDown, you know, Raw, but our main goal is us, independent professional wrestling, you know. That's our bread and butter. That's what we love to talk about. And there's a lot of organization throughout the country that's putting on shows, and they putting on shows now.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, I know GQ's got that one, but as far as kind of adding on what you have, because I mean, the reason I try to target or showcase independent talent, because those who are, you know, that have gotten experience in the past with other major names, and it kind of stressing the importance of the business and different aspects of the business. So, I mean, that's why, you know, we've got to let people know. I mean, you know, independence is where it's at. And,
oh yeah.
You know, I mean, still, you know, professional wrestling is where it's at, you know. Professional wrestling greater than sports entertainment. I will say that all day, and no one can change my mind about that, because
there you go.
You know, sorry, that's just the way I was. That's the school I was brought up on. And if I wanted to freaking act, I tried to go to Hollywood, and right now I want to stay as far away from that damn place as far as, especially with GQ there. So
and poor young thing.
Yeah, poopy young toddlers, according to their wallets. Yeah. So
yeah, that's the correct person to take advice on names from.
All right, so save the best for last. GQ's got his last question.
So, what are some memorable fan experiences in wrestling that you can share that are funny or have really stuck with you?
Well, is when the Menders came to my 50th birthday party down at South Broadway Athletic Club, and you know, that was something that I didn't know, because the young lady I was with, Pam, she orchestrated that, and they came to my 50th birthday party, and that's how we really became that close, even though I was sitting in the front row down from them. But when they came to my 50th birthday party, that really made me feel good.
Yeah, but the one question though is, I didn't know they were following wrestling 40 years ago.
They was following wrestling long as what I heard, you know. Yeah, went right over your head. Yeah.
Oh, went right over your head.
No.
Years ago. So I'm saying you're 90 years old, you old fart.
Yeah, because Jerry been knowing Herb and Jim Brown for a long time.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. Yeah. No, he was giving the inclination that you're old, Shaft.
Yes, I am. If the man upstairs let me see May 3rd, just to let you know, I'd be 63 years old.
Man.
63 again? Didn't you do that 20 years ago?
No.
Oh my Lord, man. Well, shoot. Well, I mean, my goodness. I mean, we actually had some good conversation here, and what I will say here is, hopefully, for those who are watching our feed, we've been putting down there at the bottom of the entire show, or most of the show anyway. That link, once again, is, and of course, when we close out tonight, we're going to put up a memorandum of the Mississippi Madman again as we leave here tonight. But the Jackson family is getting close to their goal. I haven't checked on it lately. It's posted there. So once again, freefunder.com/campaigns/funeral-and-medical-bills. That's been going across the ticker most of the show.
And if you cannot actually physically donate money yourself, post it on your pages, post it on Twitter, everywhere. Just get the word out.
Right. Even fans can spread the word with this. So if you can, if you're thinking of somebody else you can, and you're a big fan of the Madman, he was a great character in the ring, and he was a greater example outside the ring, and just fans loved him everywhere he went. So, do what you can, help them out for final medical expenses, and of course also for funeral costs and everything else. So hopefully, so hopefully we'll get this. Hopefully they'll be able to make it. As of right now, I will say, GQ, that there's been no official arrangements yet. If so, I will make sure that I get permission first before I post them. If so, I will be posting them on the Lifetime Podcast Network page, or at least where we've been having our shows aired at, so you guys can that, and then I'll also post it on my pages too as well. So, but yeah, but I just want to make sure that he's not forgotten tonight. But definitely, the guest of honor here tonight, Shaft. It was great to banter with you finally, man.
Yeah. And if it's all right, I want to say one more thing before we go. Tony Costa opened up 2 doors for me. He opened up 2 doors. He opened up the wrestling door, the business, to get in, to perform for him. And he also opened up his upstairs apartment to me and Pam when me and Pam was together. He opened up 2 doors, and that was upstairs for him and his wife, Wanda. And for those, and he was the best man at my wedding. I asked him to be the best man, and he didn't hesitate. He said, yeah. So I owe a lot to that man. I love that man. I love his wife, Wanda. And I just, rest in peace. Again, Tony Costa, Lil Dynamite, and we called him Peepaw. And I owe a lot to that man.
Yeah.
And I want to continue MMWA with his nephew and with his wife. Continue that legacy. And, he is truly missed, just like the Mississippi Madman. A lot, is, we don't control our destiny. we all got to go across that road, you know. But I want to thank you for having me on the show. And I want to thank you, GQ, for being yourself, for being a great person, a person that I respect, just like I respect Rough Cut. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. And whenever you want to come to Outside the Ring STL, I'm just a phone call away.
Better cover the airfare and everything.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you better plan an extra 3 days and go Greyhound, buddy.
And leave the driving to them.
Yep.
But I want to thank you. I had a blast, man, and I'm a follow you, buddy. You know, because
Stalker.
it's just like in the wrestling business. The podcast is still the same. You know, we got to support one another.
Yep. Shit, you know what? I was just even thinking, even if we did take a moment out to even do like a merged show, even taking our cameras or even our StreamYard here, and we can pipe everything through our channel and to the Outside the Ring STL channel possibly at the same time, and we could all be in the studio talking.
Hey.
So there's an idea there.
I'm gonna run that by Vader.
There you go.
All right, then.
Well, we'll find a way to get that going somehow.
All right.
So yeah, absolutely, man. All right. So next week, guys, I don't have the graphic up yet because I've not confirmed it. But when I've talked to Hawk Elliott last, whenever he had to bail out on me last week due to the other things that came up, he said he was going to be back here on the 25th, so that's next week. But trust me, just follow the page, and we'll definitely let you know who our next guest is going to be. So, with myself and, of course, with Mr. GQ, this has been episode number 26 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast with the one and only Shaft. And,
all right.
guys, remember, we've had it up there the entire show. Make sure or go back after it uploads. But help out the Jackson family with the Mississippi Madman. And, hey, we're all here for each other. And we're going to see you here next week with episode number 27. And everybody, we thank you very much for tuning in. And we will see you guys next week. See you later.